2 years after its release, Scavengers' reign is still a slept-on masterpiece. If I had to describe the mood of this show in one sentence, I'd say it's a tragic, endless sink of despair with a little bit of hope. Now that might not sound attractive at first, but when you get hooked on this show, it's like a drug. You become so addicted to it. And I think the mood fits the themes of the show perfectly. If you were stranded on some foreign planet that was actively trying to kill you at every moment, I think you'd be pretty miserable. But miserable doesn't quite sum this show up. It's scary, disturbing, and blunt with its presentation. It's also creative, colorful, and beautifully detailed. The writers probably wrote a whole encyclopedia about the planet and its organisms. We essentially meet new native species in each episode, and they've evolved unique, complex behaviors to survive. I love it when we get to see the whole life cycle of a parasite, like in this episode. It's essentially the show warning us for what's to come. This whole show is like some biologist's fever dream. If you're into animals, plants, and parasites, you'll love how much the writers focus on them in this show. It's like if Pokemon and the alien universes combined to make this hybrid planet. It's science fiction and huge in scope, but also incredibly grounded with each of its characters. It's easy to get immersed in this world and on this planet, but you don't have to take my word for it. I guarantee you that watching the first episode will instantly have you hooked. It doesn't waste time spilling out exposition, it just puts you there, in the position of the Scavengers. And like the Scavengers, you barely feel safe at any given moment. I must also note that the score of the show contributes greatly to the atmosphere and emotion. I love how the music takes over an emotional scene or how it raises the tension in the horror or action scenes. Rarely does the show ever veer off from its central tones of loneliness and paranoia, but when it does, it feels earned and like a tiny reward for pushing through all the darkness.
Not you. You go last.
Now listen, Sam, I can explain.
This is on you. Fucking idiot.
This show would not work as well as it does without good characters. It would mainly run on spectacle, which it does have a lot of, but it wouldn't elevate it to become a great show. Thankfully, the characters are the best part. In this story, we follow 3 different groups of characters: Sam and Ursula, Ozzy and Levi, and a solo character, Cayman. While they endure similar circumstances and contribute to the despairing mood discussed earlier, they each cope with their situation differently. Some characters are primarily focused on surviving, while others get sidetracked or absorbed into the wonders of Vesta, the planet they're stranded on. Some characters are more miserable than others, and Vesta takes advantage of mental weaknesses. You let your guard down for 1 second on this planet, and you pay the price. This makes the show so much more exciting and terrifying to watch, because it's often unpredictable. A recurring theme of this show is attachment and how it can inevitably lead to grief. Each character has an attachment of sorts, a bond that they form through shared struggles. It's through these relationships that we understand each character and see their more vulnerable sides. At the beginning, we know barely anything about the Scavengers, but the show drip feeds us information with flashbacks and conversations that help us peel back the layers of the story. The first half of the show primarily focuses on the main crew and how they got to Vesta. In the second half of the show, a new group of characters join the fray, and man oh man do they make this show even better. I can't tell you how much more interesting things get in the second half. That's about all I'll say because I don't want to spoil anything for first time watchers. The story is great, and when you see the ending, you'll probably be upset. And not because it's a bad ending. Before Scavengers' reign, there was the short film Scavengers that was made by the same creators in 2016. The short film is on YouTube, and it's very interesting to see the evolution of the story and concept between then and 2023. I highly recommend you watch it. The fact that the creators worked on the show for likely around a decade only to have it cancelled by HBO after one season makes me very upset. It also makes it difficult to watch the last episode without wondering where the show could have gone. The ending clearly implies a larger story with a tone and direction it wants to follow. More than that, it's actually interesting and something I want to see more of. Thus, it sucks to move on without thinking about the potential of this show because I think it's one of the most original series we've gotten in years. Nonetheless, this one season showcased that the animation is gorgeous, the characters are amazing and complex, and the writing is exceptional. If you haven't already, watch this show ASAP. In the age of streaming services, shows and movies can be taken away from consumers without warning. And I wouldn't want this gem to slip through the cracks. I hope the show gets more eyeballs on it because it deserves a lot more love and attention than it's gotten so far.